Basic question, why did you draw a challenger?
I'm excited actually to have a challenger in a primary because for the first time we're going to have a focus on this race so we can see what people really have done, what I've been able to do in the legislature, and I think when people see that, they will put me back in office.
But are you really excited to have a challenger?
You know what, I am, because there's so little attention paid to what goes on in the legislature, particularly in the Senate, that I want people to look at what we've been able to do, where we fought, where we've lost, what we're doing to win next time, and where we've won. So when I ran for this office back in 2018, nobody thought that I could take out a Republican with a ton of money in a 30-year Republican seat, but I did. I beat him by 8 points by promising people that I would fight against the things that bring us down and work and achieve the things that lift us up. That's what I've been able to do. Every day I'm on the floor, I am in the face of the governor, the lieutenant governor, calling out the bad stuff that pulls us down clearly, effectively, but at the same time, my constituents and the people of the state need more than just words. They need results. Everybody in this state needs education. Everybody needs healthcare. Everybody needs electricity. On those 3 areas and many more, I've been able to deliver results. If you're a parent and your baby doesn't go deaf, it's going to be partly because of a bill I passed. If you've got power instead of being out power for 4 days, it's because I've been effective on the grid. If you've got emotional stability and funding in education, it's because of the work I've done in education. And Jason, you're wondering why I'm excited about a primary? Because finally, people are going to see that stuff. And it's going to make them fired up and feel good about what we're doing on the Democratic side. That's what I want to happen through this race.
You defeated Don Huffines, Republican Don Huffines, in 2018 to win this seat. This isn't just any Republican, well, let me change that. This isn't just any Democrat running against you. This is a fellow state legislator running against you, a Democrat, Victoria Niave Criado. You've worked with her on bills before. Have you two spoken about her running?
We have not spoken about her running. I have passed bills for her. I'm shocked, frankly. On the values that we both profess, I've been consistent. Whether you're talking about reproductive rights, where I have been a rock, or voting rights, or public education, I've been there even more often than she has. So I'm really quite shocked by it. It's disappointing because I think that we need to be effective in both chambers and that it would be good for us to be able to work together rather than attack each other. But you know, everyone has a right to run, Jason. Everyone has a right to aspire to a different office. I'm just surprised by it because we have worked well together. I've worked very, very well with the entire House of Representatives. I passed a lot of their bills. I'm going to keep working well with the House of Representatives while I'm in there. But it does surprise me. It's disconcerting, and I want to make sure that when we run this campaign, people understand really who has been productive, who has really been there consistently and supported the democratic values. And I think when we finish the campaign, people are going to understand that I've been there the whole time.
Senator, you've both been in the office about the same amount of time. I think she was elected in 2017, you were elected in 2018.
Well, she has one more term than I have. I think she's been in for 4 sessions, I've been in for 3.
One of the charges she levels against you, she says you're too timid.
Yeah,
what's your reaction?
That's laughable. Anybody who has watched, in fact, I get in trouble in the Senate for being too outspoken. There's a reason Ken Paxton's legal team tried to kick me off the jury. I go after them, and I'm good at it, and I'm consistent with it. That's just something people say to get elected, and either they're misrepresenting the truth or they haven't bothered to look at the truth. There is nobody in that building who would ever call me timid. Let me mention one other thing, Jason, and I think it's fundamental to this election. Speaking up is something I've consistently done, but there's another half of being a legislator. It's not just about getting to the microphone and protesting. I do that all the time. Like I said, I get in trouble. But you've also got to spend time figuring out, what do your constituents need? I passed almost 50 bills last session. I've passed probably 100 bills in 3 sessions. Little bills? They're not little bills. There's this faction in the Democratic Party that thinks that passing bills is somehow a sign of weakness. Look, I can attack Republican extremism all day long, and I do, and I still can get stuff out of this Republican-dominated legislature. And it matters. These are not little bills. It's not little if your baby goes deaf. It's not little if you lose power for 4 days and somebody dies or your pipes burst. So I think that we've got to keep our heads on straight and look at what an effective legislator can do if they can do 2 things at once.
You have more money in the bank. What does internal polling say about this?
Well, internal polling is generally internal. I will say that.
You want to give us a hint on what it looks like?
Yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about my chances to win. I don't think it's ever smart or even respectful to take anything for granted. There are people who are going to vote for me. There's people who are going to vote for her, and I will represent everybody. I will represent everybody in both parties and within this party, because that's your job as a legislator. I don't begrudge people taking sides at this point, but I am confident that, and yes, I've looked at polling. When people understand the work that we're doing, they will send me back into office. And yes, our polling indicates that.
80-something days left until the actual vote. What's this race going to cost?
Well,
you haven't faced something like this.
Well, I beat Don Huffines.
Well, besides that race, in your re-election,
and I spent $1 million on that.
Is this one going to cost $1 million?
It might. It might. You know, let's talk about the purpose of money. We're not trying to paper the wall with dollar bills. As I said at the beginning, I am excited about having a primary. It finally draws attention to the really important things. I think too often we're paying attention to the silliness in Washington, D.C., like seeing Republicans not elect a speaker, right? This is a silly circus up there. We've got really serious work to do. Spending money in a primary election, from my perspective, is about bringing everybody into the conversation. That's what the money's for. It's communication. Making people aware of the importance of what we're doing, getting them involved, having people be vested in the outcome of this, that's what the money's for. I'll absolutely spend it because I want people to be drawn into this race.
We have 80 days or so out here. Anything else you can think of you'd like to add or point out? Because this is going to go fast.
Oh, this election is going to go fast?
This is going to go fast. I think the 80 days are going to burn by here. Once the holidays are up, I mean, we're in the heat of it for the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, I think I would like to add that North Texas really delivered a powerful message to the state in 2018. The year I got elected, the year we flipped 7 or 8 House seats, the year Beverly Powell and Fort Worth got elected. It was really a miraculous year. And I think that this primary election, the money that we spend to make people aware of things, I hope it reignites that passion in North Texas, because I really do think that the future of the state is in large part going to be dictated by what people do right here in North Texas. So it's 80 days, it's quick, we're going to be at every door, we're going to be in every mailbox, we're going to be talking to people in every location throughout the district. And I am excited about seeing that energy get back up to where it was, because I don't think we can allow ourselves to be content with sitting back and being upset about losing. I think we've got to win. I think we've got to change the way people think about politics in Texas, make them believe that we can win and get some results. That's what this primary is about.
Does this primary suggest anything about the wider Democratic Party when you have a Democratic official taking on another Democratic official here? It's rare for you guys to do this. You
know, there's pundits that are probably better qualified than I am to answer that question. I mean, obviously, personally, it's frustrating. I see Republicans do that a whole lot. I see Republicans say things that aren't quite true to try to mislead voters. I'm seeing that happen already in my primary, people saying things that aren't true to try to make people believe things that aren't true. So I think it is concerning in that I don't want to see the Democratic Party descend into the kind of dishonest backbiting that we see in the Republican Party. I really want us to work together because there's so much to gain by working together. So that's how I'm going to run my campaign. That's how I'm going to conduct myself in office.
Last thing, I do want to clarify this. Your opponent has said early on that you voted for SB 4.
Yeah.
And this has led to a lot of confusion because it's the wrong SB 4 that she's talking about.
It's the wrong SB 4.
Lay this out.
Yeah, you know, the letter is SB 4, Senate Bill 4. When you file bills, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on up to whatever it is. There have been 5 sessions this year. There have been 5 SB 4s this year. 2 of them had to do in some way with immigration. What I'm hearing out there, what I've seen repeated in the news, is that I voted for some Greg Abbott racial profiling bill, which is absolutely nonsense. There was a terrible bill, an SB 4, that came out 3 or 4 times during the various sessions to create a new state law crime for anybody who enters this country illegally. And now it would give power to our Department of Public Safety, the state police force, to arrest them on suspicion of being here illegally and deport them. Terrible bill. I voted against it 3 times. I've spoken against the bill, and yet it's been portrayed as if I'm on board with that. Absolute nonsense. There's another bill that had to do with penalty enhancements. That's an SB 4. that has been said to create a new crime with a big penalty.
About human smuggling.
About human smuggling.
Completely different issue.
Completely different issue. But the other thing is, it's not a new law. The law's been on the books since 1999. The only thing this bill did was make some penalties bigger. Now, the Senate Democrats, working together effectively, including all the Hispanic, not all but one of the Hispanic Democrats, there's always dissension, which is healthy within a party.
Sure.
But the Senate Democrats were able to amend this bill to actually make it less harmful in cases involving family members. The point is, though, it didn't create a new bill. It's not any new grounds for arresting anybody. It's not any new racial profiling bill. But it was a place where the Democrats were smart in the Senate and managed to get the bill to a place where if the House failed to kill it, which they did, it would be in better shape. So again, I worked with my colleagues on this bill. It did not create any basis for arresting anybody that wasn't already there for 24 years. So the hysteria that's been generated, I think, is from people misunderstanding the bill. At best, that's the most benign explanation I have for it, is that they don't understand it. A less benign explanation is that they're trying to manipulate it. But to be clear, I did not vote for any racial profiling bill. I've been against that garbage every day I've been in office, and it's clear on the Senate floor, every bill related to that kind of stuff, I condemn.